guys, Awesome Samantha coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be ranking the Wizard101 Worlds, from my least favorite to my favorite. The worlds are kind of loosely defined in Wizard101, so for the purpose of this video, Appala and Winter Tusk will be considered their own world, but Arcanum will not, because it's just too new and there's really so much potential in it. I don't think it'd be fair to rank it now. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 15, my least favorite world has got to be Zafaria. Now, the first time I did Zafaria on my myth, I got through it in literally 6 days because I hated it so much and I just wanted to get it over with and start Avalon. So the reason why I hate Zafaria so much is the defeat and collect quests. In the most recent update, they made the defeat and collect quests like not as bad as they are, but there's still a lot of defeat and collect quests. And then the savannah is terrible, and then the storyline is just so boring. I have no fun going through this storyline. So yeah, Zafaria is my least favorite world. Number 14 is going to be Azteca. Now, after you finish the world, the music, it gets awesome. The music I love it. It's the song of creation. But it's so laggy every time the pieces of Boo Boo crash down, and yeah. And even whenever you are playing through it, I don't know. It seems like with this world, KingsIsle was trying to make more mature content with the game, but I don't know. I think instead of going into the mature territory, it went into the creepy territory with some of the bosses. What they said, it was just kind of gruesome and a little graphic at times, and just something that doesn't really fit in a kid's game. So yeah, and then I don't know, the bosses, they were pretty difficult because toward the second half they started to have at least 20k, and they all have insane crit. And whenever you're like me, you don't have very good block. My Storm's going through Azteca right now. She only has like 100 block, and I don't remember the last time I blocked a crit, but the boss's crit block is really low, so I can usually land a crit. But yeah, so yeah, number 14, Azteca. Number 13 is going to be Winter Tusk. Now, Winter Tusk as a world is pretty good, but the content in Winter Tusk, every single creature can crit, and I usually tell myself I'm gonna do Winter Tusk after I do Dragonfire to get a good foothold into Celestia, but usually that fails, and I usually end up working on Celestia and Winter Tusk at the same time, because Winter Tusk is a lot harder than Celestia. In Celestia, the crit rates aren't as high, but in Winter Tusk, they're pretty high, and you really have to be above level 50 if you want to attempt it. So I usually end up doing Celestia until I get level 50 so I can buy critical gear and block gear. But yeah, the storyline is pretty good. You have to stop the brothers, stop the Everwinter. You get to meet Grandmother Raven, but the final dungeon, Nistrand, I don't know. I don't really like Nistrand. It's really difficult at the level, and on my myth, I procrastinated so much to do Winter Tusk. I don't think I did Nistrand until I was like, gosh, level 70, 80-ish? Yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion on Winter Tusk. It's not a bad world, but I don't know. It's kind of difficult for the level you're supposed to do it. Number 12 is going to be Khakha Topia. Now, I want to start off by saying I have nothing against Khakha Topia. It's a good world, but it just isn't rememberable. Like, there's a couple things you'll remember, like doing Khakha Patra. Some of the dungeons are kind of fun and intuitive, I guess, but it just doesn't have all that much going for it. Yeah, you get your elemental and spirit blades and Niles over there. You meet Alhaz-Red, Shalak the Wise. Those are some of my favorite parts. But it just doesn't have that much going for it. Plain and simple. It's not a bad world at all, it just could be more. Number 11 is going to be Grizzleheim. Like, similar to Khakha Topia, I have nothing against Grizzleheim. It's a great world, but it tends to be kind of a snooze fest, because in order to complete it all in one go, I usually do Grizzleheim after I do Mushu, but whenever I do it at that level, it can be really boring because you start at Saverstead Pass, which is a level 20 area, so it gets kind of boring because it's so easy. It doesn't even get that hard until you get to Merkholm Keep, and even then, Merkholm Keep is really easy. It's Ravenscar that makes it difficult. Now, that's kind of just me being me because I do Grizzleheim so late. I guess if I actually played Grizzleheim the way it's intended to be played, where you stop every once in a while and go do Grizzleheim, I guess it'd be more fun. But the way I play the game, it's just kind of boring. Like, it's a great world. It has a great background, Nordic, Vikings, really cool, but just kind of boring. Number 10 is going to be Celestia. Celestia, I don't know. It was really, really, really hyped up whenever it came out because Morganth, Malister's gone. What are we going to do next? Now there's this new villain. Who is she? Who is Morganth? It was a really good world whenever it came out, but it's kind of deteriorated over time because there's less hype around it and you're not as excited for it. And I wish we got a little bit more insight into who Morganth really was. Because even in Wizard City, we got to learn a lot about who Malister is and why he's evil. But we don't even find out why Morganth is evil until, what is it? Chrysalis? The final world in her story arc? That's my big problem with it. You're just forced to face a boss who you know nothing about, unless you know about her, but that's besides the point. Morganth as a villain is awesome, but you don't get to learn about her until the very end. All you learn about Morganth and Celestia is that she brought her armies to go to war with the Celestians and the Marylebone and just get caught in between, but you've no reason to hate Morganth yet. So that's my big problem with this world. Overall, it's an okay world. Kind of difficult if you haven't done Winter Tusk yet, but all in all, it's a great world. Or not that great of a world. Number 9 is going to be Dragonfire. Dragonfire, all in all, is a great world. Unfortunately, I wasn't around whenever it was new and you got to defeat Malister. I wasn't around playing back then, but I still find it enjoyable. I love the nostalgia behind the Malister story arc. And yeah, I love how you, as I touched upon with Celestia, I love how you actually learn who Malister is a good portion before you defeat him, so you have a reason to dislike him. I don't know. All in all, Malister is not a bad guy. He's evil because his wife died, and he's trying to avenge her death, which, I don't know. I might be a bad person for saying this, but that's kind of commendable. He loved his wife so much that he did bad stuff, which isn't good, but he did it for the right reasons. So yeah, Dragonfire, pretty cool. Always excited for Malister. Always fun doing it. Final Countdown, love that reference. Best quest in the game. But on to the next world. Number 8 is Wisteria. Now, I like Wisteria. I do it at a little bit higher level. I do it at like level 30 to 35 after I finish Marylebone, because that's just the best time to do it. It can be a little bit difficult at times. Well, it's actually pretty easy of a world. Things have a little bit more health than you're used to, and Chester Drawers with his cheats is a bit of a struggle, but all in all, pretty manageable. It could be so much more though. That's what I see. I don't know. It didn't really get its chance, and you only spend a couple hours on it at the most. So that's really all I have to say about Wisteria. But one of my favorite parts about Wisteria is all the references of other worlds. You meet so many people in the tournament, and if I can find where you actually meet them, which I probably can't, like in the dorm you stay in, you meet so many people from other worlds, like Avalon, Mirage, and even a lot of the professors are from other worlds. We don't know. A lot of these worlds, even many years later, haven't been addressed yet. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about Wisteria. Number 7 is going to be Appala. Now, unlike other worlds where I didn't like it because it had so much potential, this one I like because it has so much potential. With the other worlds, King's Out can't expand on them, but Appala, they really could. Like, I want to see well, we know what's behind here, but I want to go in here and fight this thing. There's so many, like, little caves around here that I just want to go inside and fight whatever's in there. And King's Out really could expand upon this, and I encourage them to, like, maybe somewhere in Third Arc we could have an Appala expansion where there's even more dungeons, where we fight even more gods. I don't know, I'd be excited to do that. Because you just look around here and there's so many other things we can go in. So yeah, that's what I think about Appala. Number 6 is going to be Polaris. Now, Polaris as a world, I don't know, it's okay. I wish it was longer. It was a really short world. I finished it in the matter of a week with a bunch of breaks. Yeah, I know people who finished it the first day it was out in test realm. And yeah, the main reason I like this world is because King's Out really took a step in the right direction. I'm trying to think of how many defeat and collect quests there were. I recall like 2. That's it. There's like 2, 3, maybe 4 defeat and collect quests in the entire world, which I'm a fan of personally. Because defeat and collect quests are really what make my decision on a world. Because Zafaria, lots of defeat and collect quests. See where that was. So yeah, I like where they're going with Polaris, and I like to see more worlds like Polaris in the future, except maybe a bit longer. Because honestly, they had time to make Polaris a bit longer. The gap between Chrysalis Part 2 and Polaris was what, a year and a half? And I understand the 4 dungeons came out in that time, but Polaris came out a year after the 4 dungeons, and the year between that wasn't filled by very much stuff. Like, yeah, there was duels and the exalted battles, but I think a little bit more time could have been spent into Polaris. Number 5 may surprise you. It's actually Marylebone. I really like Marylebone. It's short, and that's one of the main reasons I like it. I think I spent an afternoon doing Marylebone at one point, and I finished it solo, except with help with whenever there were dungeons. So yeah, in Marylebone, it really has a great storyline. You're trying to catch all these criminals, and then all of a sudden, Meow Yardy escapes with the help of Malister, which is crazy. But I don't know. I feel like the only reason we came to Marylebone was to get the Croconomicon, which really it was. And granted, we only spent a couple hours here, but still, yeah. So that's what I have to say about Marylebone. All in all, great world, pretty fun, easy to get caught, but yeah, that's Marylebone. Number 4 is going to be Wizard City. I don't know. It's the feeling of being a noob again. You're brought back to whenever you first started Wizard, and you had no idea what to do. You were just randomly casting spells at lost souls. Yeah, I love that feeling. Granted, it gets old after you're still a noob in Azteca, but being a noob in Wizard City is more of a cool feeling where you have so much ahead of you. Like, I don't know, the level 50 elixir kind of ruins it with just being able to skip Wizard City and all these amazing first arc worlds. But Wizard City, it's a fun world. It's not that difficult, but then again, it really can't be. And there's even higher level stuff in Wizard City. There's always a reason to come back to Wizard City, whether it be the Bazaar, or Waterworks, or Darkmoor. There's just so much in Wizard City that makes it you have to come back here. Number 3 is going to be Mushu. I love Mushu because it's so peaceful. I'm so excited every time I get to Mushu to just be in this peaceful. I mean, how can you not feel chilled out and in zen listening to this music? Like, here, I'm going to be quiet so you can listen to it. I feel like I'm at like a Japanese restaurant or something whenever I'm in Mushu, just listening to the music. And even though it seems peaceful, it's really not. Like, honestly, it's one of the most warlike worlds in the Spiral, because you're literally helping to fight a war. Even though it seems it's all peaceful, and yeah, it's just fun to come here and chill. Like, honestly, how can I not? And just bathe in the waters in front of the Great Muda on the Sloth. So yeah, that's why I like Mushu. My second favorite world in the Spiral is Avalon. I love Avalon. I love the King Arthur in it. And if you ask Jade, it's probably her favorite world because the King Arthur. But yeah, I love it. It's actually kind of like King Arthur. You're helping Guinevere and you're Merlin. I mean, how can you not love being Merlin? And then Morganth, Morgan Le Fay, you start to learn kind of a little bit about Morganth and why she's so evil. You meet her brother, and it's so cool because you get to rank up through the badges in the form of being a squire, then you become an armiger, a knight errant, knight of the weird, and then finally knight of the silver rose. I just think that's awesome how you do that. I love Avalon. It did take me the longest out of any other world because of not having a membership, but yeah, I'm not going to count that. But honestly, it's a great world. On my myth, I think I completed it in like a week. I completed it over spring break a couple years ago. Yeah, I love Avalon. It is so much fun, and I love the King Arthur. My all-time favorite world in Wizard101 has got to be Chrysalis. I'm sorry nothing is loaded because I haven't been to Chrysalis in like a year, almost a year at this point. So yeah, but Chrysalis, as I said earlier whenever I was talking about Azteca, King's Laws lately has been trying to make a more mature story. And I think they did a great job with Chrysalis. They tried Azteca, but it just got kind of creepy. But with Chrysalis, it's actually mature without sounding mature. Like, some of the older gamers will say it's really mature, but if you're a younger gamer, it's not that bad. So yeah, I think it's beautiful, and you get to see Morganth's terror come to an end, and you learn so much about Morganth. And Morganth is one of my favorite characters in this game because of how deep her story is. And I don't know, I guess a lot of people don't like Chrysalis because of how long it is, but I don't know. I still love Chrysalis even though it's long. And a lot of people don't like Chrysalis because of how long Morganth farming takes. But I don't know. I always feel bad whenever I think about Morganth farming because I got my Morganth amulet literally after a week of farming. And I got my Storm amulet on the second day. So yeah, a lot of people don't like it because of how long Morganth farming takes, but I don't know. I guess Wizards kind of let Morganth farm be easy, so I would like Chrysalis, because Chrysalis is actually really a fun world, and I love the mature story without sounding mature. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!